This is an ABC color presentation.
Now that my Grey Dwarf spawner is protected, it's time to get started on my manufacturing builds, starting with the town blacksmith. I began by clearing a path for the roadway and paving it with cobblestones, connecting the smithy to the annihilation station. And for this build, I wanted to do an open-air blacksmith shop. After finding the perfect reference pick, I sketched out the dimensions in core wood, with the main shop area being 10 by 6 meters. Next I'll add the stone foundation and level the ground so it's even with the floor. And here I edit the floor by removing the top layer of bricks and flooring and replace it all with just stone flooring. And for the walls, I'll snap a 4-meter core wood pole to each corner, replacing a 1x1 stone block at the bottom of each pole, and adding a 1-meter overhang on each side for the roof. I also added another row of stone bricks on the back and left side of the building to give the same overhang to the foundation. And then I established a roof line by using a 26-degree beam on each end and two 45-degree beams in the center. Here we're just adding in 2 walls, using a row of half walls at the top and bottom, and a full wall in the center. Snapping a 1-meter beam at each joint on the outside for roof support, and then we'll fill in the roof tiles with the appropriate angles. Here I'm adding some cordwood pieces for decoration on each end by snapping a 2-meter post in the center and shift placing another to fill in the gap at the top, and then snapping a 26-degree cordwood beam on each side of that. And then we'll just fill in the rest with angled wall pieces and half walls. Next we'll add 4-meter cordwood beams under each square beam to create some rafters, and then we'll add the ceiling by filling in the space with 2x2 flooring, and then we'll finish off by installing a hanging brazier in the center. And now we'll start our storage shed by placing a 4x3 meter stone foundation and adding 4-meter cordwood poles at each corner. After framing the shed with cordwood, I ran regular beams from the shed to the main roof and used 26-degree roof tiles for the covered walkway. And the shed walls are finished with 45-degree wall pieces, and the roof is given a 1-meter overhang on both sides. Now I'm adding some hidden storage behind a couple of wooden gates. And these wooden boxes are temporary, and I'll upgrade those to iron chests once I hit the Iron Age. Here I'm just using some angled beams to add some details, and sometimes you need to break things to add snap points, but that's no big deal. Next I'm going to build a faux fireplace around the smithy bench. It's basically just a stone box with the center brick sunken down to the bench's level, and decorated with a few surtling trophies and a pile of coal that I distressed with a crud bow and wooden arrows. And then I played around with the fireplace design until it looked right, and then I added the chimney with the top row being free placed so it looks like it's flared at the top. Here I'm going to install another storage cabinet like we did over in the shed, and these boxes will also get upgraded later. Also, we're going to put in the workbench with storage underneath, pulling the wooden boxes forward just enough so that the circles poke through the wooden shutters. I ended up having to move the smithy bench over a little bit so that I have room to get to my storage chest. Edits happen. And crawl spaces are a good place to hide upgrades and comfort items as well. And now we'll install a much needed street lamp. Start with the stone floor and place a 4-meter cordwood pole into the center of it. And then place a 1x1 stone block on the center of the floor and add some trim pieces to the block. And snap a 26-degree cordwood beam at the top of the pole, and then hang a brazier on the end. And we'll make the lighting permanent by adding some circling cores to the brazier. And we'll start the final decorating phase by adding the last upgrades for the workbench and adding a sign for the metal god smithy. Also a couple banners with some slogans like official Halford brand halberd sold here. Whether you're breaking the law or screaming for vengeance, try a Halford brand halberd today. And all weapons and armor guaranteed to be of the finest British steel. We also need some boxes with things like armor wax and sword polish. And here we have the metal god himself, Mr. Halford. And of course, I can't be finished with the build until I edit the sign again.